One of my all-time faves. Yes, we've done play-by-play together of indoor arena football. That seems like a long time ago, and that was weird. Still Steve Hamer. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, doing really, really well. The Tennessee Thundercats, man, you're bringing it full
Yeah.
circle, brother.
Do you remember that is the only time that I've been a part of a game in which a team kicked off in both halves? Do you remember that? Because the young man who was the substitute quarterback of the Thundercats had never started a game really in a high school or been a captain or whatever. So they go out there and you've won the flip and you're supposed to
Yes,
say we defer to the second half, and he goes, "We'll kick."
look, I
And
remember
Steve,
that, man.
yeah, Steve went crazy. Steve was in the second half. They started the second half, and the Tennessee
Yes.
Thundercats kick again. Steve's going, "Something's wrong. Something's wrong." And I was like,
Wait
"Steve,
a minute.
I agree. I
Wait a
don't know what's
minute.
going on."
Wait a minute. You're supposed to say we defer. We defer. And I
Right.
remember like you and I looking at each other like, what is going on? This is bizarre.
I also remember I hate thieves, and I've never stole these from you, but I remember we had to share a room, and Caleb, his sleeping trunks or whatever you want to call it was his game worn Celtics shorts, and I was like, man, if he leaves those laying out, I might just take those.
That's when he played for Boston. Steve, I'm actually a little bit familiar. I'm a lot younger than both you guys. Sorry, just had to throw that out. But I am actually very familiar. I am actually very familiar with you because I was born and raised in Memphis, and I know you were teammates with Todd Day when you played for the Celtics, and that is you are two players that Tiger fans really thought they could land on their basketball team in the 90s. They thought they had both you guys.
Yeah, it was Larry Fitch back in the day that was the head coach of Memphis State University Tigers. And, it was an all out assault and onslaught to try to land, Todd Day, to try to land me, Stanley Caldwell from Union City, Tennessee, LaMarcus Golden from, there in the backyard of Memphis State. And all four of us decided to matriculate and take our talents elsewhere. Three of us landing here at UT, and Todd obviously having an illustrious and a great career over at the University of Arkansas. So, a lot of fond memories of those players. Tony Delk being another one from nearby, Brownsville, Tennessee, elected to go to the University of Kentucky. So, it was a time in which Memphis State was doing well, but man, it just I wanted to get away from home and get out of that backyard and go away, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, can you still dunk?
Dave, I haven't tried to dunk, man. I get this question from my 19-year-old son all the time.
It shows my childishness.
I really do. He poses this question all the time. Like, Dad, I don't think you can do it anymore. And, I like to believe, man, I'm 7 feet tall, maybe 6'10", maybe, I don't know, whatever it is now. When you get older, your bones will compress, and, you and I guys are probably going to meet in the middle one day. We'll be looking at each other eye to eye. But I think I still can. I can still do that.
Yeah, I believe you can. All right, shoot, Caleb. Let's talk about these balls.
Yeah. Steve, I have been higher on this team than Dave has been this year. And I want to know your thoughts on this. I get Dave's point that they don't have a Dalton Knecht. But after watching last night's game, and Darlington Dubar still has not joined the team yet, JP Estrella is banged up, I get the sense that as a whole, they have more options this year. So while they don't have a Dalton Knecht, they have 4 or 5, maybe a little bit lesser Dalton Knechts that they could turn to at any moment. What do you think of that analysis?
I think that's pretty spot on. What we lost singularly, I think we gained collectively as a team. Replacing Dalton Knecht, man, you're just not going to be able to do it, right? Because he is a true diamond in the rough. if you were to have told anyone 1 year ago, maybe 13 months ago, that Dalton Knecht would have been the unanimous first team All-American, he would have been runner-up for the Naismith Player of the Year. He would subsequently go on and be drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers and play alongside one of the greatest to ever do it in LeBron James. You would have said, man, you are crazy. This kid came from Northern Colorado. We don't even know if he's going to start. We don't know how good he is. So for him to go in and to have the work ethic that he employed while he was here, it speaks volumes about him. But now that he's matriculated on to the next level, I think that we are better, Dave, and I mean that. I think that we are better this year and more well-rounded at all positions than we were at any point last year. And you look at the statistics; they say it is so. I mean, Chaz Lanier. I know that we're only 3 games in, but he's shooting almost 60% from the three. Igor Milicic. I know it was going to be tough to replace Josiah Jordan James and all that he means as a glue guy, but look at what Igor did last night. Double-double, shot the 3 in transition, ran the floor, caught alley-oops, and then you look at Felix Akpara. Sure, he does not have the offensive prowess right now that a Jonas Adu has. That being said, he's a much more polished player in terms of his physicality. He's a better shot blocker. He's a better rim protector. And I think he is going to be a much needed infusion of talent from that 5 position. So I tend to think that we are going to be better this year than we were last year.
Let me ask you, of those players that you mentioned, Milicic, Lanier, and Darling Stone, out of those 3, who are you most excited about? Because I could make an argument, and I know Dubar's time has been a little bit limited for a couple of different reasons that we don't have to get into. But which of those 3 players are you most excited about when March rolls around?
I think I'm most excited about, the easy answer is Chaz Lanier, because, guys, I tend to think that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg with Chaz Lanier. And you'll have people that will say, well, go back and look at what he did at Indiana in the exhibition game. He really struggled, shot, I believe, 2 of 12 from the three-point line. But I tend to also think that that is an aberration, right? And not something that we're going to see on a nightly basis. Chaz has all the tools in his tool belt. He's going to be a spot-up shooter. And in Coach Barnes' system, he can really flourish because of the multitude of sets that they run, in which they're going to try to run him off screens, either pick and pop or get him turning the corner and going downhill. And he can rise above and has such a soft touch from about 10 to 15 feet. And I think once he gets more comfortable in Coach Barnes' system, you're going to see him take over. Maybe not necessarily at the clip in which Dalton Knecht took over games, but you're going to see him take over on a nightly basis, which is really going to complement the rest of the team because they're going to feed off of his confidence.
Interesting. Caleb?
Yeah, Steve, talking about last night's game specifically, Tennessee beats Montana 92-57. And I wanted to know your thoughts, getting back to just, the level of options. Chaz Lanier gets in foul trouble. Zakai Ziegler gets in foul trouble. They both go to the bench. One of Tennessee's theoretical feature starters in Darling Stone Dubar, or at least solid players, is not out there. And JP Estrella is still playing banged up. And Montana is the favorite to win their conference this year. So with all those things collectively, do you think last year's team would have still been able to win that game by 35 points with all those things working against them?
I think that they would narrower margin victory. And I'll add in one that you didn't intimate, Money Williams, last night. It's the first time a non-SEC player has come into the venue that is the Summit and put up 3 points in nearly a decade. So that kid, things are going to happen, right? Or one of two things is going to happen. Either Money Williams is going to go on and play at the next level this time next year, or he will not be at the University of Montana. He'll be playing for another Division I team somewhere across the country, because I can guarantee you this, some coaches were probably ringing his phone line, his cell phone line, immediately after that game last night. But with that being said, the bugaboo for Tennessee basketball over the last couple of seasons has been backup point guard play. We all know it. Zakai Ziegler is going to log a ton of minutes. He's going to log 36, 37 minutes a game. He's a warrior. But what's going to happen when he gets into foul trouble? Last night, I think that we saw a glimpse of what is to come in that Gainey stepped in, played minutes at the point guard position. And let's not overlook the fact that a certain freshman came in and got really impactful minutes early in that basketball game when Zakai Ziegler went out. You look at some of the lineups it's had last night. It was almost like an audition at that backup point guard position. But Boswell came in, man, and acquitted himself very well and is starting to garner some attention from that coaching staff. So, to answer your question, I think they win convincingly last year, but maybe not at the 35-point clip that they were able to pull away with last night.
Just a point of reference is I want to go to our poll question that's on our YouTube page. I asked you the same question I asked Steve Hamer momentarily just a second ago, and that's brought to you by our friends at Chattanooga Mortgage. Congratulations. Your home search just got easier. They can help you with your credit. Buying a home in Chattanooga has never been easier. Chat Mortgage, chat with 2Ts, mortgage.com. What UT player are you most excited about? Lanier gets 45% of the votes, but Igor is pretty close at 36%, Dubar at 18%. Caleb?
Yeah, I'm actually most excited still about Dubar because I feel like he could almost offset Dalton. Based on what I saw from him at Hofstra, even, am I crazy to think that he could almost replicate Dalton Knecht with his style of play if he picks up the defense?
Yes. I think.
Yes, he's crazy, or yes, he can.
Good question. Yes, to both.
That sounds a little bit crazy to me, but
I think he can make an impact right away, Caleb. Will he have the same type of impact that Dalton Knecht? That's going to be hard to replicate. You go back and you look at the times that Dalton Knecht literally went into a phone booth at a game last year and changed his outfit and put on the Superman's cape and came out and just had Bruce Pearl's staff just at hey, what are we going to do? Alabama, North Carolina, the list just goes on and on. When you talk about Darlin Stone Dubar, who, by the way, probably has one of the best names in college basketball. That's a really good name, Darlin Stone Dubar. I think he's athletic. I think he's going to be a capable shooter from the perimeter. But the thing that I like in Dave, physicality to bring to the court. Tough guy, strong in the paint, and he's got the proclivity, if you will, to be able to catch the ball, spot up, shoot, or dribble drive and get around you and finish at the rim. So I think he's going to be a very capable player. We just got to get him, into form. And it was so good to see him not in street clothes last night, but to actually see him in a jersey. So that means a lot to him, I'm sure. and it means a lot to his teammates. And then they've got his back. You know, he's going to be out there and he's going to produce.
Great stuff. Hey, I certainly appreciate the time, Steve. Hopefully we can do it again. For those that don't know, you are the director of Letter Winner Relations. So hopefully we can go grab lunch sometime and maybe exchange some phone numbers, because I bet you've got some good ones. Absolutely,
man. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you, my friend. Man, you took me way back in the time machine with the Tennessee Thundercats, man. We went through some battles together. So, man, it's an honor to be on with you guys. And please let me know if there's anything I can do for each of you.
Can I just one more quick point of reference, Steve, since you are from Middleton, but I know you were born in Grand Junction, if I'm not mistaken, and that borders Fayette County, or that's partially in Fayette County. You know, my church from Memphis would do a camp every summer out in Fayette County, out in Moscow, Tennessee, called the Country Place.
Moscow.
The city slicker like me was like, this place is country. And I was like, where can I go just to get like a soda somewhere? And we found a little store off the place called Gherkins, which was where we would go every time. But we Memphians we really never really left the county.
No, it's where the hillbillies go to shop, man, in Grand Junction. That is we have no stoplights, man, just a couple of stop signs, man, and that's what you're gonna get, man, from Grand Junction, Tennessee.
Steve, we appreciate you, buddy. Have a fantastic day. I know it's rainy here in Knoxville, so be safe, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Appreciate that. He's one of the best.